Hey, what's going on? Angelisa here, and I am your host for Throttle Talk Tuesdays. What's going on, and how's everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday evening? Whoop whoop! It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. We interview influential women athletes that are making an impact for other women in the snowmobile and dirt bike community. What is going on? How are you guys? What's hip hop happening? Woo! Tonight's live chat is brought to you by Cheetah Factory Racing. If you're looking for a custom handlebar setup, make sure to check out CFR. Make sure to check out their website. They have all your bars and riser needs to set up that perfect handlebar experience. So, you know who we're interviewing tonight. If you don't, it's Ashley Luken, and I hope I pronounced her last name right. And just a reminder that we will be answering all of your questions at the end of our interview. So all comments, questions are welcome. Please do it. We love to hear what you guys have to ask, Ashley. So we're going to bring her on here, and we are going to start our chat. So let's just bring Ashley on. Did I do it? Oh, there we go. Hey.
Oh, there we go.
How are you?
Can you hear me? Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for staying up late for us.
I know. I was telling everybody today that I definitely needed some extra coffee because I usually go to bed at like 8:30. And after the trip home that we had yesterday, I definitely need some extra coffee. That's for sure. So I had some extra today. So hopefully I won't bore you guys and I won't fall asleep.
I hear you. A lot of people call me Grangelisa. So that's because I'm in bed by 8 every night. So
Yeah, it's okay. I'm right there with you. I at like 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. So that's... Yeah, and I have to wake up Mike at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, because I know a lot of people don't know, but he's deaf. So I have to wake him up or else the bed will vibrate, and I try to avoid that at all costs.
well, it's an early start for you.
Yeah, it is, but it's okay.
Yeah. Hey, are you guys experiencing the cold snap as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it's been pretty cold here. Actually warmed up to 25 this weekend when we were riding, so that was nice. But yeah, the weekend before that, the 2 weeks ago before when I went riding, it was like a negative 30 with the wind chill. It was really cold, especially because I don't ride insulated gear typically. So I was very cold. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you just went on a trip. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I went up to Piston Farm, Maine, which is in Rockwood, Maine, and it's 6.5 hour trip for us, and that's where we typically will go riding, especially if we want to go riding off trail, because like we were talking about earlier in New Hampshire, it's illegal to ride off trail, so we typically will go into Maine to ride most of the time.
Okay, sounds good. And it was a 6-hour drive. How
Yep.
long was the trip?
I went Thursday night to Monday afternoon, so it was a long trip. It was good though. Yeah, typically if we go up there, we'll go up there for a long time because it takes quite a bit to get up there. So,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure. Oh, awesome. Sounds
Yeah,
like you guys had a fun time.
yeah, we did. Yeah, it was really. I enjoyed it, and it was my birthday, so uh, yeah.
Aw, happy birthday.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel like my 30s are getting either better or worse. I'm not exactly sure, but I think people are more scared to get older. But I think I'm enjoying it. That's for sure.
Yes. How old did you turn?
34.
34.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are always like, "Holy crap! I never knew that you're that old." And I'm like, "That old?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?"
Well, you look young in your
No.
20s.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, happy birthday. Is it today?
No, it was Saturday. So I had
Saturday.
back into service because when I go up there, we don't have any service. They don't have Wi-Fi there. Like I had no service, and people were like sending me messages and saying thank you, like happy birthday, and I couldn't say thank you back, and I felt really bad. So I know, but I appreciated all the love that when I got back, because on my truck I have like CarPlay, so it'll tell you how like the missed messages and stuff like that. And Mike is sitting next to me going like, "What? Did you die or something? Because you had like 1,000 text messages." It was like work emails coming through, and I was like, "Oh crap, what am I walking into on Tuesday when I come back to work?" So,
Aw, so much birthday love. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So how's your season been so far?
So unlike most people, I guess, experience, winter comes a little bit later in the Northeast. For some reason, it didn't show up until the end of January. So I've only ridden 3 times this year, hoping that February and March will be much better. But unlike you guys out west, we have a very short season. We're lucky to even get maybe 3 to 4 months out of the year if we're lucky.
Okay.
So not too many rides yet, but hopefully February will be a little bit better for us here.
Right. What's your riding, like how many days do you put in a season usually?
It depends on the snow. I'm hoping to, last year I rode more in Wyoming than I rode out east. And I was only out there for a week and a half. So, so the snow wasn't the very best out here last year. So, I hope I can get around 30 days. But that might be luck because I can only go on the weekends.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with my work, I can't take off a lot of time. So I usually go on the weekends if I can, if there's good snow, of course. So
For sure. Okay, well, let's dive into it. Where are you from?
I am from New Hampshire in the United States. I know that you guys have a lot of Canadian followers, so I'm on the opposite side of you guys in the States. Oh, that's where I'm.
Ah, we love our Americans.
Yeah.
And give us a deets on your snowmobile.
So I have a 2020 Skidoo Summit Expert, and just slapped a turbo on here. So,
Whoa.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping to get it in the trees soon. We have no base yet, and I really am afraid to break an A-arm and to damage myself. I mean, I took it off a little bit off trail this weekend when I was, but there's still a lot of land sharks out there, a lot of stump, a lot of rocks and logs down. So we'll see. But yeah, that's what I got, and I love it. Absolutely love that sled. It's the best.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and you said you just put the turbo on this year?
Yeah, yep. So it actually came from Mike's sled. So I took it from him when he sold it, when he bought his Mountain Max. So I now have his turbo. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty happy about it. I didn't get to ride it when he had it on his sled because I don't like riding other people's stuff. I feel bad, especially if I break it. So I didn't get a chance to really ride it when he had it on his sled. So when he's like, you want it? I'm like, yeah, I want it. Like, put it on my sled. Let's go.
That's awesome. Oh, that would be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
What is one snowmobile accessory you cannot ride without?
That would be my RSI flush mount kill switch, because I tend to scorpion over things if I don't have a kill switch. So it actually is a flush mount. So if like a stick or something like that, or if my hand automatically goes down there, it doesn't automatically kill my sled, which prevents me from scorpioning over the sled. So I definitely couldn't ride without that.
Cool. Awesome. And how did you get into sledding?
So my father is a small engines mechanic here in New Hampshire, and I grew up in the shop with him. And he also raced when I was growing up. So I've been in the industry for a long time, especially with him and being exposed to grass drag racing. I know you guys probably don't have much of that out there, but on the Northeast and in like the Midwest, it's a pretty big thing. So I grew up doing that. I started riding it and racing at 4. It was my dad's love, so it kind of came into me. So that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's awesome. And are you, I know it's COVID, but are you still racing or is that something?
No, I
No.
haven't raced. I haven't grass dragged probably since I was in my teenage years. But but last year they didn't have it, so they didn't have the New England grass drags or anything like that. They had watercross events still. I'm not exactly sure how they pulled it off, but they're very lucky that they did. Because we're all pretty bummed out that the New Hampshire grass drags got canceled. It's a pretty big event out here.
Right, right. Do you think there's something going to happen in the near future, or is everything still pretty
I so
restricted?
No, it's not restricted. I think that like a lot of restaurants and stuff are still open. They were still open and able to run and operate at larger events. Over 100 people were still able to go out and do it. I think it was a liability thing and an insurance thing, just like
Uh,
is. Um, so that's I hope this year with the vaccine coming out and being a big influence that we'll be able to have that again. And I hope paydays too, because we did miss it this last year.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully everything takes a turn here.
Yeah. So they're pumping out the vaccine like no other. So I hope I'm not exactly sure how it is in Canada right now, but I can tell you, United States is fast and furious with that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, do you have any sled shred heroes?
Um, it's gonna be corny, but Ashley Luken is probably one of I absolutely like look up to her. The way that she presents herself, how respectful she is, how humble she is. In my opinion, I think she's one of the greatest out there for sure.
She's pretty rad. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
How long have you been sledding for?
Like I said, I grew up racing. I started at 4 years old. So I guess 30 years now. So like, it's kind of crazy to say that, but yeah, around 30 years. Oh my God, I feel old now.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool though, hey?
yeah, yeah. My father used to take me around in a little pouch when I was old, and I would be falling on at bars. But it's been,
Aw, cute. So you wrote an article for us in Braap magazine,
yep.
um, and you spoke about your riding area. But for those that don't know or haven't read it yet, can you tell us about the area you ride in?
Sure. So a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually illegal to off trail ride in New England, basically. Maine is a little bit loosey goosey with the laws. They're more concerned about noise than anything. New Hampshire, you'll get a nice fine. And they actually do have trail cameras, like hunt cameras, and spot people and go to their favorite places because they know we all load off at the same place because that's where all the snow is, and they'll wait for us to come off the mountain and hand us tickets. So 70% of our land in New Hampshire is owned privately or by the state. We don't have a national forest or anything like that to go riding in, and even if we did, they wouldn't allow it, basically because of logging operations and us, I guess, hurting their crop. I guess it's a huge liability as well, especially if we get hurt on landowners' property, and the fact that they're afraid of us being suing. So
Right, right. Which is
yeah.
very difficult because I'm sure you don't want to just stick to trails the entire time.
No, it gets boring after a while. I mean, I do. If I have the right sled, I do love riding some trails because, I grew up racing street bikes on tracks, so I do like going fast, on tight curves and stuff like that. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go riding, especially with our camp being up north in New Hampshire, and finding places to go off trail. Obviously, don't give us a bad name or do anything illegal or hurt the ability for other people to ride on trails, because that's what ends up happening is trails get shut down because we ride off on property, and landowners don't want us to do that, and they shut down the trail access to everybody. So that's not something that I want to happen. So I typically will go over the border in Maine, which is not that far away for us. So, and it's a little bit better usually of riding conditions. So that's what we usually have to do.
And you also mentioned that, you know, like obviously you and the younger generation, you guys are like fighting for this, right? Like, is this something that you're bringing up at the club meetings? And
Yeah. So I have actually personally gone to the New Hampshire Sledding Association and Snowmobile Association and asked if we could have a separate registration, even for more money, that there would be a section of land that we could go off and use properly and with permission. I know I would be willing to pay more in registration. I know registration in New Hampshire is pretty high, especially considering what, when we go out to Wyoming, a non-resident would cost. I think it's like, it was $35. I think it's $100 here.
oh wow.
With, not including like the club membership fees. So I would be willing to pay more money to have the, authority or permission to go off trail on a certain piece of property. And I know a lot of people would be willing to, pay that, especially because of where all of our camps are located. They're all located up north. So,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. And the older generation really fought hard with the landowners to get permission for trails to be used. We have over 7,000 in New Hampshire, 7,000 miles of trails in New Hampshire. Not to mention Maine. Maine's a much larger state, and they have a lot bigger trail, riding. And if we had the permission, I know that we would be better off than to just look like we're not following rules or don't want to pay attention to signage or anything like that. And I just wish the older generation would understand a little bit where we're coming from, because they did the same thing when they came up with the trail riding. So,
Right.
I'm hoping they'll change a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe every year
Yeah.
they might give
Yeah.
way.
I think the more that our generation are in the clubs, board of members, will be able to kind of try to transition that a little bit more. But yeah, it's kind of stuck right now, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much a voice can be heard, but as you keep being vocal and you keep getting other people being vocal, I'm sure there will be a push. It's just a matter of time.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Oh. Well, stick with it.
Yeah, are for sure. Like I said, I'd rather us have the ability to show that we're good citizens, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Want to break the rules, but we also don't want to be held back from doing what we love either. So I would hope we find a balance. So, but we'll find out hopefully sooner rather than later, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. And you were mentioning too in the article that a lot of you travel west to do your riding, just to like experience some type of backcountry.
Yeah. And that's kind of exploded in the past 5 years for sure. I know a lot of people are going out west and moving out west because of kind of the restrictions that we have here in the Northeast. And of course our snow kind of sucks most of the time. It's not like out west where it's nice and powdery and wide open. So there's a lot of people going out west, and I hope they're getting the education to go out west, because with the recent avalanches that have happened in west in Colorado, Utah, Wyoming right now is pretty scary. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, we're gonna twist it a little bit. Go in a different direction here. Who is your sled gang and who do you ride with?
So I ride with, obviously, Mike, my significant other. My father, a lot of times, even though he doesn't really ride off trail, I'll take him to a trail, off trail, and then he'll go ride the trail and meet us back later. Our buddy Chris and his girlfriend Braap, who is just starting out, which is so cool to see. I love watching people learn. I usually ride with my friend Allie as well. They usually see not many people because I like to kind of keep it small because the larger the group, the more that get lost.
Totally.
uh, so, but yeah, that's typically the people that I ride with.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite style of riding?
Um, so out here, obviously, true riding, it's a lot more technical than I believe out west. Out west, you guys got a little bit more space in between the trees. We have a lot of hardwoods with a lot of branches that come down and like to smack us in the face. So, but I do love wide open areas. I would love to go back out to Wyoming and really ride the powder again because that would be nice. But I love all types of riding. I'll get into anything. Um, so that's, as long as I'm riding, I'm happy. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. So
Totally. That's the
yeah,
beauty of the sport.
but sure.
Let's chat a little bit about off-snow events.
Yeah.
What do you do mentally and physically to prepare for a big day of sledding?
Just listen to music and talk to my friends. Get hyped up to go out and riding. We used to have a really nice trailer that we could do that in, but Mike sold it last year.
Aw.
Okay. It's get another one. He wants a bigger one. So, I mean, that's how he is. Um, but yeah, like just getting the group together and talking about what we're expecting to do and how we're gonna have fun. That's pretty much what I do.
Cool. Did you
Yeah.
have some dance parties in the trailer?
Yes. Dance parties in the trailer, especially when it's cold out, because it had heat in it. So we were like, oh, we can get warm and we can have dance parties before we go out. And when we come back, it's nice. It was really nice to have for sure.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have a workout routine that you do for sledding?
Not particularly for sledding. I do go to the gym every day. Every 4 days I'm on like a split right now. I actually have a fitness coach. So she helps me out with nutrition and for bodybuilding and stuff like that. So I go to the gym every morning at 5 o'clock to get in a good workout and good training session. So
Awesome.
to get stronger for my snowmobile, but also to keep my health up and everything like that. So
Totally, totally. Awesome. Good for you.
yeah.
Um, let's dive into some challenges, struggles, and pains because this sport has
Yeah.
its unique can of worms, I guess. Can of
Hmm.
worms? Should I even say that? Challenges. Let's just call them challenges.
Yeah.
What is one thing you have struggled with or are currently struggling with when it comes to sledding?
Getting followers. I have a really hard because I have a hard my friends were riding and themselves to be like, hey, take some pictures of me. Um, so it's just I don't want to take that fun away from them. I don't have like a photographer who just wants to take pictures. My friends just want to be there and ride. They don't want to take pictures of me. So
Fair.
that's probably my biggest struggle. Obviously, always a struggle because, like I said, we only have right now we have about 2 to 3 feet and no base. So you know those are the current struggles right now, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And how about, have you had any injuries that set you back?
Um, when I was in Colorado, I had dislocated my shoulder and trying to ride out of the woods with a dislocated shoulder was quite interesting, that's for sure. But that was in 2018. I haven't had one since. Knock on wood, you know. So hopefully we'll maintain it that way.
Okay. Oh, dislocated shoulder though. Oof.
It was not fun, and I'm still paying for it. Actually, I have to go to chiropractor a couple times a month. So
Fair. Ugh. What about some wins? What is something you do to celebrate your sport?
celebrate my sport. Just be in it. I don't really have a celebration. I just I love living what we do. So it's not really celebrating. It's just part of my life, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And let's just see here. Let's chat future Ashley. Do you have any goals for the season?
Goals to actually ride. So that is a big goal. Like I said, last year it was really hard to ride with the amount of snow that we had back east. I was hoping to plan a trip out west, or we're still trying to talk about it. But there's some people that can't go with us because they're worried about quarantining coming back. Um, Luckily, Mike's job and my job, we were able to just take the COVID test and we get back and they're happy with that. But other places aren't allowing you to do that. So um, goal would be to get more seat time than last year for sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Would you say you put a lot of pressure on yourself when it comes to getting shots for your sponsors?
Um, like I said, it's probably one of my biggest stresses because I want to perform and I want to have fun, and I have a hard time trying to balance between enjoying riding and feelings like sometimes it's a job. Um, I'd never take it for granted though. I'm super, humble and thankful and grateful to everybody who backs me. So I feel like I feel bad when I don't produce for them. It's kind of like when you're not doing your job right at work, right? So I think that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Um, and oh, I just want to say, I have a note in here. I love how bright and eye-catching your Instagram is. Like you
Oh
have some beautiful photos. So I know you say that, that was a challenging part for you, but it seems like you
yeah,
capture
I
a lot of
try to.
stuff.
I love photography. If I could take pictures of myself riding, then I would. But I can't, obviously. Um, I love getting pictures. I love getting pictures of people riding, of people enjoying their time, of everything. So I try to make it eye appealing as much as I can, even though I don't have a lot of riding pictures unless I go out west, unfortunately, or go
Right.
up north, go back where there's photographers and stuff that come out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What would you whisper in the ear of young Ashley, who is first starting out as a sledder?
um, don't be afraid. Uh, I think as I'm getting older, I'm getting a little bit more afraid of hurting myself and being out of work than than anything. But I try not to be afraid, and I would tell myself not to be afraid of taking the risk and the challenge, and not being afraid for sure.
Okay, that's a good one. And any advice that you would like to give to women that are just getting into the sport?
Again, don't be afraid. Have some confidence. Don't listen to guys a lot. I mean, they give great advice, but honestly, a group of women is something fierce, man. I I would say learn throttle control, learn where your braking is, feel comfortable, and don't try to keep up. Um, I know that we feel incredibly bad about ourselves if we feel like we're holding people back. Um, so I just don't want that. I don't want you to feel bad about it at all. Even if you're slower than anybody else, I'll stay right behind you and make sure that you're okay. So really, that's what I would say. Be comfortable. Don't push yourself too hard, and really know before you take off. That's for sure.
Awesome. And a quote you live by.
A quote I live by. Um, Really, everything happens for a reason. Even though some things aren't supposed to be the best things, um, and they don't feel like the best things at the time. I think that everything happens for a reason, and it happens at the right time. So that's pretty much what I live by, and try to remind myself constantly.
Oh, love it. And where can we follow you and your journey as an athlete?
I am on Instagram only. I had Facebook a couple of years back, probably 10 years ago actually, and haven't restarted it because I feel like Instagram's good enough for me. I am Ash X May on Instagram, so if you want to follow me, you can.
Cool. And I'll tag yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I do find like Facebook to be quite hard with all the other social media things that are happening around.
Yeah. It just became a
Um,
little dramatic for me.
yeah,
And stuff that I really didn't want to see. So that's pretty much why I only have Instagram, because I think a lot of people, even though there's a lot of negativity on Instagram, I think there's not a lot of positivity too. So I'd rather just follow that instead.
totally. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so this is a new thing that I've kind of added in here. It's
Sure.
5 questions, and
Okay.
it's just like a quick
Yeah.
one or the other.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
So monosuit or two-piece?
monosuit.
Okay.
Even though it's a pain in the butt trying to go to the bathroom in a monosuit as a female, I can tell you that. Even with drop downs, everyone's like, "Oh, drop downs." I'm like, "Dude, you still have to take out your pants."
It's true. Very true. Denim on denim or plaid on plaid?
Plaid on plaid.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Low
Yeah.
visibility, but with powder or tracked and sunny?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Mm,
That's a really tough one. Because the less light that I have, the less confident I become. Um, but still, powder over anything.
okay. Trees or trails?
Trees.
Okay. And then sled deck or trailer?
Sled deck for me. Uh, Trailer for Mike to pull.
Good. Love it. And I got a couple questions that came in.
Sure.
We have Adventures by Lindsay. She asks, what was the most challenging obstacle you had to overcome when you first started riding?
Um, so I grew up trail riding because that's what we did. So really trying to lose the idea of trail because it's complete opposite of tree riding. And counter steering on a trail would be really bad, but you have to counter steer in tree riding. So really the biggest obstacle was forgetting my body positions for trail riding and understanding what I needed to do for tree riding. So that was probably my biggest obstacle, and I'm still obviously learning as well. So,
Right, right. Yeah,
yep.
for sure. J Money 1387, when will you get a bike again so we can ride?
I be getting a bike hopefully this summer because last summer was terrible without it because our weather was beautiful. Um, I really missed having a straight bike last year for sure.
Aw.
Hopefully this summer.
Is that what
Hopefully.
you do during the summer? Is that kind of your
Yeah,
like summer sport?
I grew up. My father tried to put me on a dirt bike, and I never liked it. I rode four wheelers as a kid instead, but as soon as I got to my driving license age, I got a straight bike and never looked back. I did track days with my dad. I still do them if I get the chance. So really, straight bike riding in the summer is what I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's so fun.
Yep.
Sarah underscore, she says, I ride Upper Michigan, which is similar to East Coast riding, smaller mountains and tight trees. Any tips for this type of terrain?
Learn your balance on your sled, especially when sidling. I would start with flat ground if you want to, and really find where your tipping point is on your sled. That way you can get on the side easier without having to use a lot of body movement. So that's what I would recommend.
Okay, awesome. And I am going to open up to you guys. If you guys have any questions for Ashley, just let me know. I'm just going to scroll up to the top here. I always get so close, close to the camera. So yes, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Gonna keep scrolling. I have Mick Morrison, 2013. He says, hi from the west coast of Canada. Gabrielle Poit says, happy
Oh,
birthday.
I appreciate that.
Gloria, she says, I finally made it to a live. I always watch days later. Well, welcome, Gloria.
No,
Uh,
I
okay.
try to every time I try to watch it, I fall asleep, unfortunately, because it's 10 o'clock my time, typically when you're having them live. So I usually watch them the next day. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know it's hard. And then now, but the good thing is I'm now converting all the talks to
Yeah,
podcasts. So I feel like anyone can like listen to them at any time. So it took me like 7 months to do.
it was because of Spotify, because I've heard people have an issue trying to get Spotify to accept their podcast.
Mm. Yeah, it's on Spotify. I haven't heard
Yeah,
anything yet. So
did you have any issues with it? Because like I said, a lot of people that I've known that have been trying to get podcasts, I usually don't like allow them on pretty quickly. Oh,
yeah,
good.
it did take a long time to get on, but
Yeah,
no issues yet.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I hope you don't.
Aw. Oops. Oh, I don't know what happened here. You still there?
Oh,
I gotcha.
yeah, I'm here. I can
Okay.
see you.
Okay, cool. Colt 801, he says, hell yeah, Ash.
No,
Mountain Darlin says, happy belated birthday.
I call.
Mhm. Claude Gangnan 43. I'm like the
Yeah,
worst when it comes to Instagram
I
names.
said my name correct though. You know how many people don't?
What's that?
I said you said my name correctly. A lot of people don't get it right on the first time. That's for sure.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Yay. Okay, so Claude says, hope you had a great birthday. I did send it Friday, but probably didn't send.
It's okay.
Aw.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Race boy, boat boy, ooh, tongue twister. Stay out of avalanches. That shit's scary.
Yeah, it is. We're okay. So in New Hampshire, we only have one place that has avalanches, and we can't ride there. It's Mount Washington in the presidential range. I did a thing on it in my story a couple weeks, was it last week? Avalanche is pretty high, and actually a skier had died this weekend on the first, I believe the first, in one of the ravines that he was skiing down. Experienced backcountry skier, but unfortunately, as snowmobilers, we're not allowed to go up there or even ride that terrain. So, typically we stay out of avalanche areas, especially out here. Now out west, it's a little bit different of a story, but we do the courses. We know, we like to know before we go, and we make educated decisions on where we are riding that day. So doing up hurt.
Yeah, yeah, you bet, you bet. MX riding free. What bikes do you ride?
I had a 2009 ZX6R Monster Edition race bike, and I loved it. I might get another R6 though, because that's what I started on. So we'll see. Either
Oh,
Yamaha or Kawasaki for sure.
sweet. I want to get a street bike.
They're fun. They're dangerous, that's for sure, especially with the amount of people riding and driving around here. Massachusetts
Right,
people are scary driving around, so
right, right.
okay.
I have Yar 21 dance party. I think we were talking about the trailer.
Yeah, that's because Ray has had a dance party in there before. So, hi Ray, how are you?
Oh, that's awesome. Patrick 1 SL, no bass at all.
No, there isn't a base, and we sink right down. And like I said, we ride on old cutoffs. like logging cutoffs. So there's a lot of stumps and a lot of logs that are left laying around. And unfortunately we hit them if we have no base, or it's all sugar snow right now. So
Right.
yeah.
Ugh. Whose child is screaming? That was mine. Sorry, guys.
Child. So definitely not my child screaming.
It's mine. She is very grumpy tonight, and it
No.
sucks, but that's okay. So, Patrick, oh, sorry, this is from Luke. Patrick 1SL hit a nice rock this weekend while doing a wheelie.
Yeah. See, it's happening. I'm sure a lot of A arms were broken this weekend, and a lot of skids were bent.
And Patrick says facts, no base.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
funny. But Luke also did say that Patrick is a great photographer.
That's good. Maybe I'll go out on the mountain, hopefully.
I just like this conversation. Patrick also says, facts, I'll take some photos and videos.
At least there's a conversation going on around us, right?
Totally. It's entertaining. Yar21 says, happy belated birthday, Ash.
Yeah, I got your text message. I text you back. Thank you.
T Billy 662. Hi, can you ask her if we can ride soon? I live in New Hampshire. Is it Hampshire?
No, it's Hampshire, New Hampshire.
Hampshire. Okay.
Yep. Hey, Tyler. That's also a friend that I used to ride with, but I haven't ridden with him for a while because he's being not cool. So, Tyler.
About that. Call him out. Just kidding.
I will, and he knows it. It's funny.
Awesome. Chase Tyler, any surgery needed on the shoulder? My season is over because of a shoulder injury.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to have that surgery. Luckily, my figure skating years, I was able to pop it back in once I got off the mountain, and get it put back into place before I needed surgery. I probably should have surgery on it for the amount of times I go to the chiropractor with an issue, but I'm avoiding it.
Yes. It's just not, injuries are not fun.
No.
ECS_73, Rockstar, great live, get to New York. I'm assuming it's New York, NY. We will get you off trail.
Yeah, I loved going to Tug Hill. Actually, the last time I went to Tug Hill, we got into some trouble riding off trail because it's also illegal riding off trail in New York, and as well as an aftermarket exhaust. So that was a fun time. But yeah, I'll definitely come out to New York for sure.
Cool. And then Hops Tiffany, track 154 or 146?
It's a 154.
Okay.
Yep. I did have a 146 free ride. That was great for trail riding. Sucked for off trail because it was so wide in the front end. Obviously, I could have changed it, but that was a 146. But I definitely would stick to 154 for sure.
Okay. Luke Dognan, he says, what does Ashley think her next sled will be?
I don't know. We'll see when the lineup comes out in a couple weeks for Skidoo. Obviously, I'm sorry. I'm going to stick to Skidoo. I love Skidoos. I always have been a loyal fan of Skidoo. So I'll wait to see what they come out with, and if it's better than what I have now, then I'll grab one. But I'm pretty happy with my sled for right now, for sure.
That's exciting. Yes, it's going to come out soon, hey?
Yep. I hope so.
And then T Billy 662, or can we ever go riding?
Yeah, Tyler. Again. That's on you. That's not on me. You know where my camp is.
Aw. K Donovan 144. Are you guys planning more trips to the farm?
I'm going up not this weekend, but the weekend after for the veterans ride. Mike's not going up, so I'll be up there, and hopefully Chris and I and Bree and everybody else will get up there in March. So I'll let you know.
Cool.
Yep.
Hoops Tiffany, she says, did you ever do a clinic? And if you did, would you recommend for those who just started backcountry riding?
I have helped run clinics before. We do veterans clinics, like I said, and we did a women's clinic a couple of years ago as well, and I participated in one in Wyoming last year. I think they're great. I would definitely, especially, as a beginner, I would take a course with them and learn. And having a bunch of females around is so empowering compared to a little other courses. I wish there were more out east, but like I said, unfortunately, because of the restrictions with riding, there aren't a lot of out here to have.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Haley Elizabeth says they are the best. I'm not sure what she's talking about there. Maybe Skidoos?
I think they are.
Yes. Okay, and then Doug the Body. Man, there's some interesting
I know.
Instagram handles.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the story behind the Yami?
You're talking about Mike's Yamaha or the one that I grew up riding? Mike's Yamaha. When I first met him, he was on a Mountain Max and he loved that to death. He still has it. Still beats the crap out of it and blown more pistons than I can even count on one hand with them. So he decided when they came out that he wanted the brand new Mountain Max. So he said that he wasn't going to be snowmobiling this year. Said I'm taking a year off, and we're all like, all of our group of friends were like, yeah, okay. You're gonna not take this year off, but if you say you are. And then the Mountain Max, he found one in the Northeast, which was really hard. Our friend Pat was able to provide him with one, and he went and bought it the same day. So he loves it. I would not be a fan of riding it because I just don't like the monorail, but that's just me. It's a very pretty sled. I think it's awesome, and I really enjoy looking at it, but not my cup of tea.
For sure. And then T Billy 662. Haha, yes, you can call me out. I'm a bum now.
Yeah. And I'll have to send you a picture of me and Tyler. You'll understand where I'm coming from with
Okay.
this one. The last time I rode with him, he was wearing a banana shirt. So
Love it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Patrick 1SL, what's your opinion on Megaloway Bowl?
McGalloway. You almost.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it, just because I know the Fish and Game cops are there, and I'd rather not get a ticket for riding up there in such a popular area, and it's always tracked out. If you get there in the morning and it's really good, then it's worth it. But other than that, in my opinion, it's not something that I would take the entire day to go do. But it's technical and it's steep, and it's probably the steepest area you'll be able to ride in New England. If you like that, then go right ahead for it.
Cool. Haley Elizabeth. I couldn't imagine. I'm so glad we live in Canada. I think she's talking about how you guys can't go in the.
It's so restrictive. Like I said, I wish we could get away from it, but that's I would go out west, I guess. Yeah, so you should be lucky. We also have to travel at least 3 hours to go riding every weekend. So,
Wow, that's insane.
Our camp is located 3 hours north, and then some people, go 4 hours, 5 hours north. So, yeah, we it takes a lot for us to go riding. So if you meet a snowmobiler, that's what we're really passionate about. If we have to do that amount of traveling every weekend, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's dedication for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's like it's something that you guys both love and what you're passionate about.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
gotta make it work.
Yeah. Have to.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. That's all that we have for today. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you. No, it was my pleasure. I was telling people that I was really nervous to come on here and talk. Because when I was in college, I did not pass public speaking. And sometimes I have a hard time talking about myself, so I was pretty nervous coming on here. I'm not gonna lie. But you were so welcoming, and everybody was so welcoming. So thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate it. And I just want to say, you are making an impact on other women. Keep doing what you're doing. You are being such a great influence
I
on all
really,
these women.
yeah, no, I really appreciate that, and I'm so happy that I can help a little, a little at a time.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you even staying up this late for me.
Yeah, it's fine. 10 o'clock ain't that bad, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
It is a Tuesday. I hope you guys have a beautiful night, and we will catch you on the next one. Okay.
sounds good.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much, Ashley.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.